The violence in Milwaukee has been the hot topic on Facebook and our website today with one big question. What can we do to make this stop?
And to talk about that, we invited State Representative Josh Zepnick and Barb Notestein to join us this evening.
And Representative Zepnick is a Democrat from Milwaukee's South Side. Barb Notestein is the executive director with Safe and Sound, a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to reducing violent crime in the community. Thank you both for being here.
We're going to do a little history now. Yesterday, Milwaukee Police Chief Ed Flynn, he made a rare appearance at a murder scene. And there's been a lot of talk, too, about overtime for officers. And Representative Zepnick, we know you're asking the governor to kick in more money for Milwaukee police overtime. What are you hoping this will accomplish? And also, one of these shootings really hits home for you.
Well, I live just blocks down from the Family Dollar store at South 43rd in Oklahoma. It's near my district, and my wife and I shop there all the time. I've talked to a number of people in the neighborhood. I was out when you guys called this afternoon for the show, going door to door, which is what legislators do in the summer recess. People are concerned. People who work in businesses have fears. And I issued my public statement today, and I call again on Governor Walker to listen to what Mayor Barrett is asking for in terms of the legislative changes on mandatory sentences, as well as the $500,000 to match city funds for police overtime in a roughly $40 billion state budget. That is just simply a drop in the bucket, and this all comes on the heels of something I was very deeply involved with this past weekend, as were many others in the community, which was marking the one-year anniversary of the tragic gun violence at the Sikh Temple in Oak Creek. And you know, we've got to get our hands around this and work together as a community, because each and every one of us has some role and some responsibility to play, no matter where you come from.
Well, let's talk about it with Barb. A new report came out today about the murders in Milwaukee last year, and the number one reason that led to those murders, fights and arguments. So how is your group working to sort of reduce this sort of conflict and provide resolution so the argument doesn't get out of control?
Safe and Sound is a community building and crime reduction strategy that operates in the central city of Milwaukee. And we have staff who walk door to door, who talk with residents about the issues that are occurring in those neighborhoods, and then bring those residents together in block watches and other efforts to talk about the kinds of things that are happening, whether it's shootings. We have a huge number of vacant properties where there's criminal activity going on. Those residents can work together. They can partner with the police department, with the district attorney's office, and we can fashion strategies to help settle disputes and address issues.
Now, we all know that this is affecting the folks in Milwaukee, but then you have that element that live outside of the city. They see this and they think, I'm not going into Milwaukee, it's a dangerous place. What would you say to those people that are now developing this opinion about the city?
I would love to invite them to come into some of the neighborhoods in which we work. We have residents who are very proud of their neighborhoods. They have worked on cleaning up their properties, they're building gardens. They are very peaceful, and they are the kind of people who really care about their neighborhoods and are building the kind of cohesion that is very important to the strength of those neighborhoods. And I'd love to have some of those people who are nervous about coming into Milwaukee call me, and we'll take a visit.
Josh, you're hearing from people?
Echoing the same comments Barb just made, and I would not only encourage, but I would say, please don't even think of not visiting Milwaukee. I'm very proud of the hard work of the men and women of the Milwaukee Police Department, as well as Police Chief Ed Flynn. And I would just point out, I have great neighborhoods in my legislative district in Milwaukee. People realize, and frankly, this is a really important point to underscore, because solving this and us joining together as a community involves just the exact opposite of sort of running away and hiding or isolating yourself or somehow thinking it's out there somewhere. While we were praying at the Candlelight Vigil in Oak Creek on Monday, okay, there were roughly a dozen gun-related murders in other parts of the United States of America while we were just sitting there within a matter of minutes. These were happening in real time. The Mayor's Against Illegal Guns truck was there and had their number signed moving forward. It affects all of us. It's absolutely not just Milwaukee.
It's happening in a lot of big cities.
Milwaukee's a very safe city, and we cannot let this stop us. And we will continue to work on projects like Barb's, as well as many other initiatives, and we're going to continue to help support Milwaukee Police Department to do their jobs.
Now, Barb, you're on the front lines when it comes to this issue, but do you find that some people say, well, you know, this really doesn't affect me, where I live, on my street, or maybe in my neighborhood?
It affects all of us, whether it is the people who live on those blocks, whether it is people who want to operate businesses or have employees living in those neighborhoods. It affects all of us. And we want people to feel comfortable coming into Milwaukee, and we want people to live here and have businesses and hire folks who live in the central city. We have seen residents take an area where there are shootings and vacant properties and dilapidated, blighted kinds of things going on, and they work together, they transform it. The properties are brought up to code, they build gardens, they change the neighborhood. You start seeing children playing outside, kids walking to school. We can make change.
We appreciate you both coming in. Barbara Notestein, former legislator,
yes,
current legislator, Josh Zepnick. We appreciate you both sharing some insight on this.
Thanks for covering this
big issue.
Thank you.
Very important issue.
It is.
Thank you.